because I went through a lot of my life trying to be normal. And like, it was a really big deal for me for a long time that people thought that I was very much so normal. And that bothered me after a while. And I started to feel like people didn't really understand me or see me, and it's like I wasn't really trying to...
Me about secret homosexuality.
So should people be aware cameras are on? Like, cameras are on.
Jaden Smith is gay.
The earliest I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender.
Don't excuse fashion and being eclectic. Something is not right. He's trying to drown himself to be eclectic, but there's something lost in the eclecticness. I can...
Okay, everyone. Jaden Smith appears to be the most recent famous young person to join the transgender movement. He previously stated that he doesn't truly think there are just two genders and that he is gender flexible, but we now know that he may be considering a full transition. Look, we're accustomed to witnessing Jaden engage in a variety of outrageous activities. He is no longer even taken seriously by half of the population, but this is when it turns strange, and this is directly from Katt Williams. Have you noticed that every other well-known Hollywood actor these days has a transgender or non-binary child? That's not random, according to Katt. He claims that in order for these celebrities to maintain their position in the industry, they must pay a contract. Does this imply that Jaden was truly sacrificed by Will and Jada? What actually occurred in the Smith home to cause him to behave in this manner? Or did something far darker take place in the background? Now let's get started. He's acting strangely and being himself. What a deranged, masochistic lion. There are growing reports that Jaden Smith intends to undergo a gender transformation. The problem is that he has been giving clues for some time. His attire first became increasingly feminine, and then there were some viral events, such as the time he was seen giving Justin Bieber a back hug at Coachella. However, it didn't end there. Additionally, Jaden began stating in interviews that he saw himself more as gender flexible than as he or she. In fact, he told the Huffington Post that he doesn't even want to be called human since he doesn't live up to pre-existing human norms. Additionally, as you recall, Jaden was the face of Louis Vuitton's women's wear brand and appeared in a women's apparel campaign back in 2016. Look, it's possible that Jaden is simply too wealthy, bored, and too pampered. To be honest, this is what happens when you are trained to think you are the most unique person in the room and have everything delivered to you on a silver platter. However, this is when it becomes eerie. Jaden's true fate might be explained by a different, darker hypothesis, and this is related to the ritual trans agenda that Katt Williams discussed. Katt said that many misinterpreted the true nature of the men's dress debate when he discussed it on Joe Rogan. It goes well beyond simply guys dressing as women, according to Katt. This has an occult and ritualistic quality. 20 years ago, I anticipated the emergence of transgender music. I was a prophet, therefore it wasn't. I just realized that things are secular since I have learned so much about it. I realized that the first time I had heard the term transgender in song was, Baff the transgender. I was aware that in order to demonstrate your loyalty to him, you had to kiss his ring as part of the bafflement rite, and it made those two statements. I thus anticipated that both of those items would gain popularity. You have to acknowledge that something strange is going on in Hollywood, even if you don't agree with Katt about the entire Baphomet ritual thing. Because really, how can you explain this? Approximately 2% of adults worldwide identify as non-binary, gender non-conforming, or fluid, while just 1% identify as transgender. That represents a very small portion of the population. However, every other famous person in Hollywood has a transgender or non-binary child. What is actually happening then? Do these famous children simply need to feel unique and special because they are so pampered? Or is there anything more sinister going on in these Hollywood homes behind the scenes? According to one belief, well-known celebrities are really required to sign a contract committing them to raising one of their children as transgender. Recall the accusation made by Dwayne Wade's ex-wife that he struck a deal with Disney to raise their kid Zion, now known as Zia, as transgender. She even said that Dwayne informed her that if Zia had gender reassignment surgery, Disney and other businesses would offer her endorsement opportunities. You might argue that the motivation is just business, or you may agree with Katt Williams and think that something more profound, ritualistic, and occult is taking place. In any case, it's certain that these famous children experience something. Now, let's return to Jaden since there are some quite unsettling claims regarding his childhood. Additionally, Will has acknowledged in the past that he has gone too far in treating Jaden like an adult rather than a child. You see, Will and Jada don't think that children should be disciplined and given structure. Will stated that he and Jada think that their children should be treated with the same respect as everyone else. Will stated that he and Jada made the decision to release this with their children, since African American homes have a notion of your children being property that stems from slavery. Furthermore, Will claims that he and Jada never even instructed their children to tidy their rooms because you would never tell a fully grown adult to clean their room. Here's the issue though. Both Willow and Jadden have criticized their parents for pushing them into the spotlight at a much younger age and allowing them too much independence. If you are unable to interact with the outside world, you are not a typical human. Daddy and you never truly explained to us what kind of world you two were from. Yes, we simply assumed that you guys had suddenly appeared out of nowhere. It was an awful experience. Witches. Willow also disclosed that at one point she was so depressed that she began harming herself with music, but Jada was unaware of it. I felt like I was sucked into a black hole and was cutting myself because of the weird dark music. What? Yes, and engaging in bizarre activities. Really, when did you start cutting yourself? That bit escaped my notice. As in a very long time ago. Where are you cutting yourself? On my wrist, you can't even see it, but there's still a tiny bit of music there, and for a split second I completely lost my mind. Whoa, but take note of this. Jada said she didn't know any better and attributed all of this to her own upbringing. Because you can't, and we're all going into parenthood with our own traumas from childhood. Your children will carry their own burdens, and is what I knew, even if I can see how it would have wounded you. However, after that entire entangled problem, people showed little sympathy for Will and Jada. When Jadden was psychologically and physically ill, Jada actually had an affair with his buddy August Alsina. She then doubled back and said that she had to act in her own best interests rather than acknowledging how twisted up everything was. Snorts in all honesty, I believe it's crucial for a daughter to have the chance to meet her parents and hear them discuss all phases of life. Regarding Jadden, a lot of people think that Will and Jada's parenting was the reason he began acting out at a young age and desired emancipation at the age of 15. However, things became much more sinister after Jaguar Wright made some shocking accusations about Will and Jada, claiming that they had both engaged in some unsettling behavior with other young men they had mentored. Strange occurrences in their home, and young men have screamed to leave their guidance. Basher and Meek Mill's August was the only person who stayed, and I assume he was rather ill as Gray stormed out of the home. He required a doll. Hello Jude, and that was their childhood companion. Jaguar added that she felt sorry for Willow and Jadden since they may have seen some strange things at their home. However, given that Jadden left their home at the age of 16 and declined to return, even for family interviews, he's sort of MIA. Yes, Willow is simply amazing. There was simply too much going on in that place. There was too much going on in that home, and while I'm in jail for protecting my child, these kids don't even receive a CPS visit because of what they saw. Not to mention that Will and Jada actually started their own Scientology school, which Willow and Jadden attended for a short time until it was shut down. Will and Jada founded New Village Leadership Academy, a private primary school, in 2008. At the time, Will asserted that their goal was only to provide an educational setting where kids might enjoy studying. But the school's connections to the Church of Scientology soon brought it under fire. The school's website even cited study technology, a teaching technique created by L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of the Church of Scientology, and it turned out that many of the staff members were active Scientologists. In June 2013, the school was discreetly shut down. Additionally, the school faced criticism from parents of other children who objected to some of the Scientology teaching music techniques, even though no formal explanation was provided for the closure. Is it any wonder after hearing all of this? Is Jadden who he is? To be honest, it's amazing that something much worse hasn't surfaced given the way Will and Jada parent. The problem is that it may have. The bond between Will and Jadden has been the subject of several sinister accusations. These are only rumors, to be sure. However, after watching all those videos of Will kissing Jadden in interviews, many fans were really uneasy. People initially dismissed it with laughter. Everyone chose to overlook it since Will is a comic. However, even as Jadden grew older, it continued to occur, and it was obvious that it caused him discomfort. Is that how things are at home, gentlemen? His son? No, not at all. We have a lot of affection. Have you ever given me a kiss? We have a lot of affection. He attempted to kiss me. Laughs. Have you ever given your son a kiss on Thai TV? You're in love, I guess. I am able to give myself a kiss. Come on. Ellen, you are aware of my affection for him. I adore him. Laughing, my sweet kid will never, ever leave me. Never. No. The Smith child's liberation. Painless, come on out here. Jayan, hurry up. Just keep smiling, Jayan. Just maintain your grin. Just maintain your grin. You can't deny that's quite unsettling. He's not only kissing his son, he's music. He is actually pressuring you to kiss him. And see, it may be harmless. Perhaps Will simply has an annoying sense of humor. However, I'm not sure. This place doesn't feel quite right. All I can say is that this clarifies a lot of Jadden's actions. From his quest for emancipation to these fresh allegations of transitioning. But tell me your thoughts. Is Jadden only a Nepo child in need of music attention? Or is there something deeper going on behind the scenes that is causing all of this? Stay tuned for the next video and share your theories in the music comments.